Hi, this is Koeshall from the Through the Fire Training Organization at the Metal Shop here in Tyler, Texas. And today we're going to be talking about another one of those sombrata patterns that I mentioned in the sombrata series. The drill we're going to look at today is one that specifically talks about doing a flow pattern or a counter for counter pattern, a sombrata pattern, on the ground. And we refer to this as the Opa Drill because it's a flow pattern. It's something that you can teach or do very quickly. It's easily learned. It's highly modifiable. You can change it up as much as you want, and it will teach you to move smoothly on the ground. And I use that as an introduction to people to groundwork that don't necessarily want to go to a full-out Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu class. I can teach them some very basic principles very quickly and effectively by teaching them in this counter for counter format. So today we're going to do a base variation of this drill, and then I'm going to show you a couple of different ways to mix it up. And basically what we're going to be looking at today is how to escape from a mounted position if somebody's mounted on top of you. Once you've done that, how to pass somebody's guard and gain side control. And once you've done that, how to go ahead and mount on the other person. In which case the drill starts over and the other person now is mounted and they escape, pass guard, gain side control, and mount, etc., etc. All along the way we'll be putting in little modifications, little things that you can do, little ways to influence the body, and little ways that you can spice up the drill a little bit. So without further ado, let's hit the mat and show you the base Opa Drill. Okay, so just another example of the sombrata training method, which again means counter for counter. We're going to take an example from the ground training, and there's a lot more qualified people out there that you can train Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu with. We're just going to borrow some of the things from there, but the key here I want you to see is the flow, the counter for counter that allows us to continue in a training method, and then we can build up the resistance, we can build up putting in other things into the drill to make it more spontaneous. But this is a very good way to isolate certain characteristics that you want to build and grow and learn by doing in a repetitive fashion in a counter for counter way. So we're going to start out, and we just call this the Yuba Drill. It's basically a triangle that teaches you how to get somebody off of you when they're mounted on you, how to get past their guard, how to get side control, and one little submission we put on there, and then how to mount them, and then the other person does the exact same flow. And so we'll just go through quickly again. I would suggest you see somebody that's very good at Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu to give you all the fine details of these techniques. I'm not concerned that you learn those fine details from me. I just want to show you again the pattern and how we do this kind of training methodology. So from here, Daniel's going to mount on me. And right from here, I'm going to use the Upa to get him off. So I'm going to get him down, I'm going to lock his body up. I'm going to start to push him over, and then I come up, I get posture, I make sure that he can't break my posture. Right from here, I'm going to work at starting to pass his guard. For this, I'm going to just choose to go over one of his legs. I'm going to move myself back, open the guard, start to pass, and move around. I'm going to get side control here. From here, we just put in something that we call the 100-kilo position, where I'm going to use my chin to put pressure on his cranium here against a cranium lock. From here, I am going to mount by protecting from him getting control. And now I'm on the mount, and Daniel's going to do the exact same drill. I can add in some fake punches here to get him to start to move. Just going to pass my guard. And we would continue just to flow right from here. I can interrupt the drill, come back in anytime to make it a little more alive. and time.
So this is an application of the Sombrata training methodology with the ground game.
So now that you've seen the base drill in a couple variations, the important thing that I want you to keep in mind is that you can vary this however you want. The criteria that you need to maintain to make sure that it's a counter for counter drill, though, is that it can be a looping cycle, something that allows you to continually go through in a dynamic format to allow you to practice and come back to these same positions. And we like to do this because it allows you to focus in on two or three things that you really want to work on, and you can again bring this into focus, sharp focus. It's not completely random, it's not completely open free sparring, but it puts it into a place that you can actually spar it slightly and make it more and more difficult as you and your students or you and your partners get better and better at these positions. You can resist more is what I'm trying to say. So go ahead and keep working with that, and in upcoming videos we're also going to show you how to do this with stand-up locking, with punching combinations, and other variations of things that you can use the Sombrata training methodology to really bring up your game quickly. I'm Koeshall through the Fire Training Organization, the Metal Shop in Tyler, Texas.